talk about Ford superiority. Unser's cars are Ford, but we have two Offenhausers in second and third place, the machines of Rutherford and Pollard.
And Lloyd Ruby there has now passed everybody but the top 9 cars. He's passed all of the slower machines and will soon be challenging, it looks like.
He's got that mongoose really rolling.
Lloyd Ruby, the hard luck man, could have won the race last year and the year before. Blew 3 engines on one day of qualifying here, but he's back in the thick of it. Okay, well, the man having perhaps not an enjoyable, but certainly an exciting ride right now is Lloyd Ruby.
Jim, in Ruby's pit are the astronauts Pete Conrad and Dick Gordon from the Apollo 12 mission, and are they ever tickled to see the way he's going?
Well, he certainly has done a tremendous job of driving up to this point, but now the work really begins. He's passed most of the slower automobiles. Now he has to catch the lead, and of course from now on every pass he makes will really be difficult because the drivers are really tough drivers.
Lloyd Ruby, will repeat, is in 10th position. He started 27th, and he's never won the Indianapolis 500. Here's the way they stand. Unser, Rutherford, Pollard, Foyt, Donahue, Andretti, the other Unser, Gurney, McCluskey, and Ruby, and back in a minute. We return again to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This is Jim McKay reporting along with Chrissy Kanamaki and Roger Ward. And look at the crowd. They're estimated at 300,000 here at Indianapolis this afternoon. Some 225,000 of them actually seated. There's Lloyd Ruby moving out again, down towards the inside, trying to get past Mark Donahue, and here's McCluskey moving out on Andretti. McCluskey very quickly getting by Andretti, and now Ruby gets by Donahue. Lloyd Ruby, who started in the 9th row, is now in 8th position in the race. We asked him earlier how he planned to drive these early laps.
That'd be hard to say because all them cars up in front of me, and they don't know where they're going. Sure, I don't, but the only thing I can do is just try to work my way up to them and try to stay clear of all of them and try to get towards the front because it's really no time to wait back there because starting that far back, you wait, they get strung out. They'll be really strung out and they'll be so far in front of you, wouldn't catch them.
Well, that was Lloyd Ruby before the race, and he has sure done what he said he was trying to do, get going early in the race. Here he is now challenging Mario Andretti for 7th place. Right at the bottom of your screen. Here they are. He's got him. Lloyd Ruby moving into 7th place ahead of Mario Andretti, and up ahead of them there's quite a battle between Foyt and McCluskey. Here's Lloyd Ruby, though, in the red, white, and blue Bill Daniels Cablevision Special. From the 9th row up into 7th place and still moving fast. There is McCluskey trying to take A.J. Foyt. The white car is McCluskey, and he's got him. McCluskey passing Foyt for 5th position in this race. And Lloyd Ruby now is moving up on A.J. Foyt. What a tremendous virtuoso driving performance we're seeing here this afternoon. There's never been anything quite like it at Indianapolis. Lloyd Ruby, remember, has never won this race. 3 times before, he had a good shot at it. And now here he comes, trying to pass A.J. There's Ruby down on the inside, and he's got Foyt. He's moved into 6th place.
He's matching the speed of the leader, Jim, running over 164.
And now he tries for Roger McCluskey. Lloyd Ruby after another veteran, 40-year-old Roger McCluskey. This could put him into 5th position in the race, and then there will only be 4 to pass. And here he comes. Ruby right alongside McCluskey, and he's got him going into the first turn. Fantastic story here this afternoon of Lloyd Ruby. Remember, way up in front, Al Unser is still the leader in the race, but you have to stay with a performance like Ruby's putting out here today.
Ruby is the man that people are watching, Jim.
Top 10 right now, Al Unser the leader, Johnny Rutherford second, and Bobby Unser, Art Pollard. And here is McCluskey repassing Lloyd Ruby. So for the first time today, somebody has actually passed Ruby. It's Al Unser, Rutherford, Bobby Unser, Pollard, McCluskey, Ruby, Foyt, Andretti, Donahue, and Gurney.
And that McCluskey and Ruby, they know one another's idiosyncrasies and have great respect. There's going to be a ding-dong duel here for that position between these two Southwesterners. Ruby, incidentally, is driving a year-old automobile built for car owner Gene White by Dave Laycock here in Indianapolis. He decided against using his new car. Ruby is in his 11th Indianapolis 500, and AJ is in his 13th 500. Between them, 24 Indianapolis starts, the most experienced men in the field.
One thing that is helping Lloyd a great deal is the fact that his crew is giving him the time difference between himself and the leader, Al Unser. So he knows exactly where he is in regard to the lead, and he's trying to maintain that and not drop back any, and actually has been able to do it, which, and this will inspire a driver. I think this is one of the things that's kept him going as hard as he has.
The fact that there's a few cars between he and the leader doesn't seem to matter to the pit crew then, Roger?
It certainly doesn't.
Boy, the traffic is all heavy. It seems to be centered on one side of the track, and look at the action going in here. Whoa, and that is known as closing the gate in racing parlance, but Ruby handled it beautifully, went a little bit wide, and that must be a nerve-shattering experience.
It certainly is, but you can tell how beautifully his car is handling. When a man goes into the turn that hard, slides clear out of the group, and still able to save it, you know that his car is really performing and handling beautifully.
Tremendous competition and heavy traffic on the straightaway here. Ruby and A.J. Foyt battling through traffic. George Snyder.
I don't recall ever having seen so many cars running so close together as we have right now, and certainly it's a tremendous performance on the part of these drivers not to get mixed up and cause some sort of an accident, because everyone is really driving hard.
Ruby is getting way down below the white line in the corner, showing how well that car is sticking in the turns. Here's a spectator's eye view, that high wheel fence to protect them should parts fly off a car. Drivers whizzing by the vertical references, making them look as though they're going even faster. Now, here's Jim McKay with Art Pollard. And Al Unser continues to lead with Johnny Rutherford second. His speed cut now to 162 plus miles an hour because of the yellow flag. He's still running, however, 164, but all eyes are centered on the battle for third between Lloyd Ruby and A.J. Foyt. A tremendous duel between these two drivers from the Lone Star State. In traffic on the corner, but never letting up on the accelerator pedal. Ruby number 25, Foyt the shirt, Thompson special number 7. Tremendous Indy 500 Classic, the 54th running of this America's greatest race, and a record crowd looking on at some exciting competition here. Al Unser's the second car on the screen. He's the leader, coming down the back straightaway, and in second place is Johnny Rutherford. Here's Jim.
Let's take a look at the relationship between the first and second place car, Chris. There is Al Unser in car number 2, the second car on your screen at the moment. And now as we look back, there goes the leader, and here is the second place car, Johnny Rutherford. As you can see, he's still well within striking distance. But the battle goes on between Foyt and Ruby, and there's Foyt moving down to the inside, trying to take Lloyd Ruby for third place in the race, but being shut off by Lloyd this time. Wild and woolly, isn't it?
It certainly is. One of the wildest races I've ever seen. You know, we've always talked about drafting down in the south, the stock cars, but actually it's become quite important here at Indianapolis because the cars have been improved aerodynamically, and the idea is to hold the car down in the turn, but it slows the cars down the straightaway a little bit. So now with drafting, they can actually pick that speed back up again, and it does help to pass.
And now A.J. Foyt is in third place, ahead of Lloyd Ruby, car number 7, leading car number 25. A tremendous battle between two of the most experienced and capable drivers in the world for third place. And into the pits comes Dan Gurney. This looks like the first routine pit stop of the afternoon, but it's a little bit early, about 4 laps earlier than most of the drivers have been hoping for. And now here's another car out of the race. This is Gordon Johncock in car number 5, Jim Gilmore's Gilmore Broadcasting Special. Well, Jim still has one car left. Jack Brabham is racing under his colors this year, too. Al Unser in car number 2 is breezing along with the breeze at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He is leading by a comfortable margin in the 1970 Indianapolis 500 over second place Johnny Rutherford and the rest of the field. Unser in the California-built P.J. Colt car, owned by Parnelli Jones, who, by the way, was the last man to win this race from the pole position, and Unser is possibly in the process of doing exactly that right now. Car number 7 there, however, is A.J. Foyt, and there's number 25, Lloyd Ruby. They're still battling it out for third place in the race. The orange car of Foyt, the red, white, and blue, number 25 of Lloyd Ruby. And it looks like there may be some smoke coming out of Ruby's car just a little bit, but it could mean something. Into the pits. Lloyd Ruby is definitely smoking. Let's keep a close eye on that car. The man who moved all the way from the 9th row up into 3rd place. Rutherford is completely stalled, as you can see, and they're going to have to restart the car.
They have to put the starter motor back in, and Mike Devon and the Patrick Petroleum crew are getting a tough break right here because he'll most certainly lose his contending position.
All right, the lead car technically in the race is A.J. Foyt right now, closely followed by Lloyd Ruby. They're running 1st and 2nd because of the pit stops by the cars that work. And, however, look at that smoke. This is the most significant thing at the moment, coming out of Ruby's car.
3 out of the past 4 500s, Ruby has virtually had the race won when some unlikely mechanical problem manifested itself. And here again, whatever it is, it looks as though the snake may have bitten again.
Well, at the moment, A.J. Foyt is going to come into the pits, and Ruby takes the lead, but at the same moment, he's getting the black flag. I've never seen that before. As he took the lead in the race because of Foyt coming in, Ruby got the black flag from starter Pat Vidan and is going to have to come into the pits.
And the drama is compounded here in Indianapolis.
But out on the track, Lloyd Ruby is coming around, and he must come in because when you're given the black flag, that is an order from the officials to come into the pits and find out what the source of your trouble is.
26 and 2/10 seconds. He's given away 6 seconds to Al Unser, Jim.
And here is Lloyd Ruby into the pits. However, it's kind of convenient. He'd be due in pretty soon anyway, wouldn't he?
The black flag came at the most opportune time a black flag could come, Jim. And they're checking over the transmission gearbox section of the car, which seems to be covered with smoking oil.
At this moment, technically, the leader in the race is Mark Donahue, who has not yet made his pit stop, and Jack Brabham, who is also due for a pit stop, is technically 2nd.